You're in the middle of a workday and you need to change your workflow. You need to change a simple network adapter setting. You click the search bar, you type network, and click the result. Suddenly, you're in the modern, sleek, fluent design settings app. It's clean, it's touch friendly, and it's 2026 or later. But then you need to configure your printer or manage an old software license, and suddenly, click, you're thrown into a folder that looks like it was designed in 2009. Gray backgrounds, tiny text, and dialog boxes that haven't been updated in 15 years. If you felt like Windows is a system living in two different centuries at the same time, you aren't crazy. It's the great Windows identity crisis. And today, we're going to talk about why this is happening, why Microsoft is struggling to fix it, and why this specific frustration is leading a massive wave of power users to consider a completely different path: Linux. This isn't just bad design, it is a hostage situation. As of April 2026, Microsoft leadership has explicitly confirmed they are working to migrate everything to the Settings app. But they're moving at a glacial pace. Why? Because the control panel isn't just a UI, it's a massive piece of web Win32 API calls. Think of it like a house foundation. You want to renovate the kitchen, but the kitchen is holding up the entire roof. Microsoft is terrified that if they flip the switch and kill the control panel today, they'll break millions of legacy drivers, specialized medical software, enterprise printers, and custom automation scripts that the entire corporate world relies on. They are forced to balance the needs of modern users who want an iPad-like experience and enterprise users who are running mission-critical software built when Windows 7 was the gold standard. It's a tug of war that Microsoft is losing. And for you, the end user, it means a fragmented experience where nothing feels final. So, where does this leave us? Well, for a growing number of people in 2026, it leaves them looking at Linux. Now, before the "Linux is just for hackers" comments start, let's address that. Modern Linux isn't what it was 10 years ago. It's not about typing lines of code into a terminal for 3 hours just to get your Wi-Fi to work. When you use a polished distribution like Linux Mint or Pop! OS, you get something that Windows is currently struggling to provide: consistency. In a modern Linux desktop environment, the Settings app is usually built by the same team, using the same design language and the same underlying toolkit. When you open your file manager, it looks like your settings. When you open your browser, it integrates with your system theme. It's not a patchwork of 2006 and 2026. It's a cohesive system. Here's my challenge to you. You don't need to wipe your computer. You don't need to lose your files. You can take an 8 GB USB stick, flash it with Linux distribution, and run it as a live environment. You boot your computer from USB, and suddenly you're using Linux without touching your actual hard drive. It's a try before you buy experiment. Spend an hour on it. Look at the settings. Navigate the UI. See what it feels like to have an OS that doesn't feel like it's being held together by duct tape. If you hate it, reboot, pull out the USB, and you're back in Windows like nothing happened. But if you like it, you've just discovered a way to take back control of your machine. Microsoft is going to keep patching and porting the Windows Control Panel for years to come. It is an inevitable slow death, but you don't have to wait for them to finish the job to have a modern, consistent computing experience. If you've ever felt like your operating system is fighting you instead of helping you, maybe it's time to at least take a look at the alternative. If you've made the switch to Linux, or if you're thinking about it, drop a comment below. I want to know, what's the specific aha moment that made you realize it was time to leave Windows behind? Thanks for watching.